Hey everyone, welcome back. We've got a I don't want to say a smaller podcast because that's not probably true. You know the way we go, we just blurb on blah 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 on and on and on. But no, there's some cool stuff to actually talk about
Yep.
today. It was Fallout Day last week. We've got some preliminary sales numbers for Pokemon. You have a bunch of other stuff on Discord that you gave me. And there's major news that happened yesterday that harkens back to the time when Sonic was first announced on the Nintendo GameCube. And we all
Uh,
remember how weird that was at that
yeah,
time.
because people don't remember the rivalry that they had back in the day. Nintendo versus Super
So
NES versus Dreamcast, not Dreamcast, Genesis. Well,
exactly.
we can start. Let's get Pokemon out of the way. There was an utter failure, guys. We knew it. We called it. The fans have finally spoken. No, not quite. It sold in the first week 5.8 million. It's way behind. Or it's not way behind, but it's behind Scarlet and Violet, which is
Do you have the
typical.
number, by the way? I wanted to ask
Yeah,
that. Like, do you know what
yeah.
the comparison was? I was just
Oh yeah,
curious.
yeah. Let's do that real quick, and then I have before we do the comparison of the league. Pokemon Company sold 100 million units of software on the Switch just during the main games. Let's Go, 15, Sword and Shield, 26.84 million. Scarlet and Violet, which is a little behind it, it's 27.15 million, which is actually more. I don't know why it's lower on the list. And then Brilliant Diamond and Shiny Pearl, 15 million. The other first Arceus Legends, 15 million, and the new Legends ZA or ZA, whatever you want to call it, has sold 2.9. But that's not. Hold on, that's not everything. Hold on, guys. Let's get the numbers here. So the Pokemon has sold in over 5.8 million in its first week, right? And then where is the other? Oh, didn't this thing have it? Oh, here it is. Corporate stuff.
I was just
Have
curious
it.
because I was seeing that some people were saying that it was like a little bit slower than
Yes, it was
Legends
a little bit.
Arceus or whatever, but I
Yes, it
wasn't.
was, and it's not as good as Scarlet and Violet.
But that's to be
Even though they,
expected. That's to
yeah,
be
even though they
expected.
call this the mainline series, which I guess it technically is, I think a lot of people think of it as a side game. But even then, that's
But
still pretty
do you have the
damn.
number? I'm curious to see like what was the week one sale of Legends
God, it was on
Arceus.
this report that I gave
That
you.
means he does
Heck
not
did
have
it
it, ladies
go?
and gentlemen.
It was there though,
Unprepared.
right?
Unprepared,
Oh,
this
it
guy.
was because you remember I told you that I said, look, it didn't sell as much as
Arceus week. Well, I'll tell
Yeah,
you in
yeah,
a
you do
second.
that. We're gonna bring up some other stuff here. Okay, so this is another information while Jared's looking for that. The the Microsoft gave for the profit margin goal of 30%, which is much higher than industry average and that's why it led to the massive Xbox layoffs. Which that is true of not only Xbox but the company in general. Microsoft has a very aggressive project margin, and they actually have a really good profit margin, one of the best in the industry. So I guess it could set the standard, but it's way above industry and it's kind of unrealistic, Jared. So I don't know. What did you think about that little
Well,
report about the?
I actually thought.
You're a businessman, so you
Yeah,
know.
no,
Uh,
it's because listen, the person that's making these decisions, I forget what her name is, but like she's like the head of finance, so like their CFO type
yeah,
of thing, and she's simply not in the gaming industry. So in the gaming industry, typically is about 15 to 17% is what the markups and stuff like that typically are, and by doubling that, it's just kind of funny because like
it just shows.
Microsoft, the SEC. So okay, we gotta restart everything. Hold on a sec. Timeout. Let's finish Pokemon so we can move
Yeah,
on to
finish
this because
Pokemon.
otherwise
We're talking about.
we're gonna go all over the place. So guys, Pokemon, I got all the data right in front of me. So Pokemon Legends ZA was the fifth fastest selling Pokemon game in the series history. The previous, like the four games that sold faster than it are Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, sold 10 million in 3 days. Pokemon Legends Arceus sold 6.5 million in 3 days, and Pokemon Sword and Shield sold 6 million in 3 days. And Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl also sold 6 million in 3 days. Now, what's kind of interesting with this is this one. I mean, it sold 5.8. You could say it was 6 million. You know what I mean? Like, let's not get carried away here. It also got released, I believe, on a Thursday, so it's comparable to the other ones. We know that the Switch is getting long in the tooth there, as they say, right? Like, it's starting to really like show its age. So I have a feeling that a lot of folks, it's just my feeling, we have no data to back this up. I just think that a lot of folks probably bought this on the Switch 2. We do know this is the second fastest selling Nintendo game behind Mario Kart.
Yeah, they said half of the sales were on Switch 2, so it shows you that the Switch, a lot of the sales were on.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, like, because a lot of the other sales were at like peak Nintendo Switch, like, you know, like height of the Nintendo Switch. So I honestly think I understand this was cross-platform, I understand that, but I legitimately think this is not bad news at all. Like, I know some people like to sway it, like, oh, it's not selling as guys, that's full of crap. I think this is actually really good, because I think it shows, you know, that like folks are migrating over to the Switch 2. And I have a feeling that Gen 10 is going to sell gangbusters on the Switch 2. So I'm not surprised by this whatsoever. I think this is legit. Like, you know, this is big news, guys. Like, I think you know, it's been an overwhelming success. We already discussed all of like my thoughts and stuff. I will say I'm about, oh man, I should have checked before the podcast. I think I want to say around 30 hours now. I'm B rank. I'm right at the B rank battle right now. So after that, I know I'm going to have my 3 mega evolutions that I'm going to have to fight. Going to have some side quests to do. And then there's going to be the A rank, and then it's going to wrap up. Like, I'm almost positive that, because it's been following a certain pattern. I got to say, like, everything I said last week still holds true. But at the end of the day, I saw, I forget what video it was, someone said something that I really enjoyed, which was like, you know, Pokemon is like comfort food. Like, you know what you're getting. And even with the problems that I said and the fact that, like, I really wish they had a higher budget, because I don't blame the people working at Game Freak. I really don't.
No, you can't, because they don't have creative. People forget that the devs are just workers, Matt. Of course, everyone uses devs, that term loosely, right? They encompass everything, which means the game designers, the corporate bigwigs. They don't actually mean the real devs themselves. The devs are just, you know, white collar workers. They do their job. They go home every day, and that's it. You can't blame them for the lack of budget. You can't blame them for the lack of freedom.
No, that's an executive. That's an executive decision.
But
that's
I know
made.
People use the term devs as companies, right? They don't mean the actual devs themselves, because you're, like you said, the actual developers, they just do their job and they're done.
No, that's it. I would love to see what a Pokemon could look like with like a, you know, a $400 million budget. Like,
all right. Well, what about what Namco did with Snap? Look how beautiful that looks. So you just see a third part. Now, obviously, that's a rail game. It doesn't have open world. It's not very linear, etc. I understand that, but it shows you the visual difference between that and what Game Freak does. And there's no excuse, Jared. Game Freak is a blatant difference between what Nintendo does with their hardware, first party, and then even third party, like Cyberpunk on the Switch 2. There's no excuse for the lack of
it's budget.
Graphic
I'm telling you, it's
100% budget.
It's budget.
And,
it's like,
there's no excuse for that.
Yeah,
but
and it's,
you know, though, Jared, though, if you look at the statistics, Pokemon games only make 10% of the IP's total revenue.
Well,
so if you think about it from a business standpoint, it actually doesn't make sense to put a lot into it.
Well, I know.
It doesn't, you know, I think people
did you listen?
That.
Did you listen to last week's podcast? That's what I was saying last week.
Jared, you said it with a loose tongue, as always. You didn't.
No, but that's the whole thing, right? It's like, I understand from a business standpoint why the decisions are made. That doesn't mean as a fan, it doesn't mean I have to like that.
Oh no,
But
guaranteed. The
but
thing
I
is,
will say I have been having a lot of fun. Like I really have been having a lot of
wow,
fun.
drastic difference from when you
No,
told.
no difference. I said last week that it was fun. The problem was the repetitive, environment and all the stuff I said last week still holds true. Everything I
Oh,
said
okay.
still holds true. It's just at the end of the day, it is comfort food. Like it's fun like that. There's a reason, guys. 5.6, 5.8 million
So
people.
basically, rounded up to 6 million.
Yeah, like there's a reason that many people buy the game because guess what? It's fun. Like at the end of the day, it's fun. It's like it is what it is. Like
Yeah. Like when I was playing with one of our community members and I told you too. Like we were playing Mario Kart World. He hasn't been slacking. He hasn't played for a couple of weeks with me. I had to get Cranberry to play with. Anyways, I told him it's like there's a certain charm. I mean, it doesn't have the. I mean, world graphics aren't that bad, but it just has that fun factor that's a lot of companies don't really seem to empathize on or focus on, and Nintendo does. Oh, this isn't Nintendo proper, but still, you know what I mean.
yeah, exactly. So
Okay,
anyway,
so
so now I want to jump. Unless are you done with this? Because
well,
I
I
want
was
to.
just gonna say, just like the next Animal Crossing that comes out, I know I'm gonna bitch about it because it's gonna be virtually identical. But at the same time, you're gonna sit there and play, and you're like, okay, it's Animal Crossing. It's
Yeah,
it's fun, but
dude, there is something. Whatever Nintendo puts in their water, okay, like seriously, like at Nintendo headquarters there, like kudos to them. That's all I can say. Like it's people can complain as much as they want. They can talk about they want innovation. They can talk about they want, whatever, blah 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 blah. But at the end of the day, it's hard to explain. There's something about their games that are just fun to play, and it's like Animal Crossing. I know I'm going to put 300 hours into Animal Crossing. I know that. I know for a fact I will. And it's probably going to be almost identical to the last one that came
identical
out.
to the restaurant.
But
yeah,
I don't
nothing
I
difference.
don't care necessarily. Like if I get the fun factor and I enjoy the time I'm investing in the game, well, okay, like that's good enough. And it's kind of funny. I used to feel like that with Blizzard. Blizzard would release any game.
Blizzard's changed. Yeah, and now look at they have Flumble. Hero, even though the Heroes of Storms is actually a good game, it just couldn't catch on. Warcraft Rumble, another good game that's actually fun. It just couldn't catch on because there's just too much steep competition. And I also think it's just Blizzard's kind of like our age fans. We're old, man. Like the people who grew up with Blizzard, we're old. They're in their 40s and 50s now, right? So they're not young people anymore. And the young generation, it just didn't. Blizzard's name didn't translate.
No, I know.
To
yeah, that's totally fair.
Dude,
Dude,
it could be a lot of it is because of the time, right place at the right time. Like Diablo was one. It wasn't the first, but it was one of the best or action RPGs, hacker slashers at the time. And now it's a dime a dozen. Oh, Diablo's not that much better than Path Exiles, et cetera, et cetera. The competition's so much more fierce now.
Yeah, and dude, you also have to think of like time period, right?
When it came out look at it exploded MMOs. Now MMOs struggle to survive, dude.
When did Diablo 1 come out? Was it 94, 96?
Yeah, hold on. Let's look it up while you're sitting there. Let's look it up.
Because I know 2 was in late 90s, 98, I think it was.
December 31st, 1996. Why did they ever release it on that day?
Okay, well, 90. Okay, so we could say 97. Let's be real.
Yeah, it was literally the next day. It was 97.
Yeah. Okay. So you have to think back at that time period, right? Like this is a time period with like Nintendo 64, Resident Evil starting, that shift in mature sort of content, gaming and stuff, and it's like. That's one of the reasons why it was just so profound, so big. But okay, I want to go now. Let's jump back into the Microsoft 30% profit because basically, I don't know why people listen to anyone, to be really honest. We are such sheep. It's incredible, guys. Like, I know, we could have a whole discussion on mainstream media. We could have a whole discussion on social media, news and stuff like that. But guys, like, you gotta look at sources. You gotta look at like where news comes from and what people are telling you and stuff. When Microsoft announced that they were going to purchase Activision Blizzard, the SEC, the Security Exchange Commission, basically really challenged that because they were like, Microsoft is going to have anti-competitive, like policies and stuff like that. Like they're going to be able to control a significant portion of the video game industry. And of course, Microsoft comes out, no, don't be ridiculous. We're going to put Call of Duty on everything. We're going to support all these other platforms and blah, blah, blah. That was not a lie. It was not a lie. But there was one thing in there that the SEC said. And that was, besides all that, that was also the fact that, monopolies increase prices consumers pay because there's no competition, right? Like the lower the competition comes down, the more or less you can do whatever the hell you wanted. And look, Microsoft tried right away with the $80 games and stuff like that. They tried like instantly. It didn't work. It backfired. So they had to backpedal. But then all of a sudden Game Pass prices are skyrocketing and all this other stuff is happening. Why do you think it's happening? It's because of stuff like this. It's exactly because of stuff like this. And if you like business, I can tell you guys how careful you have to be. So next year, God willing, we're going to have Masters of the Universe. I try to slip in Masters of the Universe as much as I can for my examples because I loved it as a kid. But it's one of the prime examples of how to destroy a franchise almost overnight. And it's got to do with policies like this 30% profit margin type thing. So if you don't know anything about action figures or toys in general, the way they basically work is you sell an allotment to your Walmarts, back in the day, Toys R Us, and all these sorts of stores or outlets or whatever. And then it becomes the store's problem to sell them. You did what you needed to do. You moved your product from your warehouses into Walmart's like distribution centers and things like that. Okay. Well, back in like the mid 80s to like, I think it was 86, 87, somewhere around there. There was a policy that changed at Mattel. You see, the way it used to work is we licensed, or we're not licensed, we hired a studio called Filmation to make a 22-minute commercial aimed at Tim and I. Literally us. We were the target demographic, okay? And it was aired every single day at 4:00 in the afternoon, right after school. What an amazing coincidence. And what we would do is we'd sit down, we'd watch He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, and then we would go to Mom and Dad and be like, oh my God, we have to have this new action figure type thing. And they were directly linked. So they would be showing kids these episodes to market to children, and then they would be releasing these waves of toys, typically in 8 to 14 figure waves, allotments. And that would be it for the year type of thing. Okay? Or like at least that season. But new person comes into Mattel, and because Tom Kalinske had just left to go to Sega Genesis, and he's the reason, Sega does what Nintendo don't and all that. That was all him. And so a new guy comes in, and a policy type of thing comes in like this. And here's the policy. Your bonus is directly tied to the allotment of figures that you ship out. So every person, instead of tying these to the cartoon that was playing and that that everything was like syncing up nicely, all of a sudden they went from like 14 figures to 80 figures. Suddenly there were like 14 different types of He-Mans and all these sorts of things with like minor changes to flood the market so that they would make money. And it's exactly the same sorts of thing that totally destroyed He-Man. What we're seeing here is due to what I would assume was originally a plan of Microsoft to dominate the console space. It's the only thing I could assume is that they were buying these studios to position Xbox as like the one de facto platform in the world. And like Game Pass was going to be the Windows of the future where like everybody was going to have it. And I think what ended up happening is reality set in that the business model just wasn't working. They were losing money hand over fist with the original Xbox. Xbox 360 apparently was an anomaly and did super well for them, but then everything collapsed and they've never come back. Ever since Xbox One, they have never come back. And I think the intention was there to dominate, but I think everything just fell apart. And it's stuff like this that is going to, they're done. It's over. Like we have other news. You didn't mention it, but the other news I think is the final nail in the coffin. Like they're going to transition completely now.
Yeah. Well, there's some news about thinking about the consoles. They even alluded to it that their next console can be a premium experience. And we'll tell you guys what the rumors are. Before we go that though, thinking of Xbox, games on Xbox from October 27th to the 31st of this week, Outer Worlds 2, Arc Raiders, I can't wait for that. Here for Mr. Jared, which he already knows, Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D Remake, Virtual Fighter World Stage, Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, I love how they use this case in the collection, Beneath Halls of Torment, Mission Babylon, and then Patrol Rescue Wheel. Oh, that's what it stands for. The Patrol Rescue Wheels Championship. Yeah, so a really good week for gaming in general. We all said earlier that October's a packed month. But we had some delays, and the Vampires Masquerade 2, Bloodlines 2 just came out as well. That's getting some mixed stuff because I guess it's not like that's another thing where fans, their expectations of a 20-year-old game might not be they wanted virtually identical copies, so they didn't quite get that. But it looks like it's a good game. A little mixed, though, because people aren't happy that it's not focusing on the RPG element that the first game did. So, anyways, let's talk about the Xbox and other news, too. So Microsoft has been alluding to the fact that their next system is going to be very premium. And if this is true, So, before we get in that, the Xbox, PlayStation, just to put some context here, PlayStation 6 is set to be $600, which is not cheap, by the way, but it's still pretty good, I guess, compared to what we're going to talk about. A new prediction suggests that PlayStation 6 will be much cheaper than Microsoft's next-gen Xbox Maximus. I guess that's his code name. Tech Insiders, predicts a $600 Xbox is rumored to be 42% more silicon. So, it's going to be significantly more. This alludes into it. So, if it's true what's going to happen for Xbox, it's going to be quite a banger here. So, the rumors have it that the next Xbox, you heard the nickname, is going to be $1,200. Mm-hmm. Now, put your caps on now, though. The rumor has it it is going to be basically a 5090 performance. If that's true, you cannot get anything on the PC for that level of performance for $1,200. So keep that in mind. But consoles are traditionally supposed to be cheaper, so it's a different demographics, different market. It's going to be very tough for them to sell. But I don't think, like Jared said, I don't think they really care. They're just going to have it there for the people who want the best bang for their buck and have the best performance on the console. They have that option. But again, if it's true that it is comparable to the 590s, then the 5090s graphic cards, that is very impressive for the cost.
Yeah, but remember, when is it coming?
That's true. By then, it might not be top of the
Exactly.
line, right?
That's the whole thing. So, guys, I don't think this is a rumor at all. I think there's been too much noise. There's just been too much
Yeah,
noise.
too much noise. Yeah, way too much noise.
The Rogue Ally X is $999.99 for the 24 gigabyte RAM and 1 terabyte drive for the portable PC. I have a feeling this is exactly what they're doing. I think the like is it's what I just said. At 30% profit margins with all the expenses that they've just paid, when you tie these things together, you cannot be a console manufacturer anymore. You just can't. There's no way. So what do you do? Well, what you do is you get someone else to make your device for you. You basically slap the Xbox brand. You basically license it. That doesn't mean I don't think that, I know they have a deal with AMD, that they're doing some stuff. I have no doubt about that, but I think like their expectation is going to be to sell like 10 million of these, 20 million of these tops type of thing.
Even that's
no, I know.
That's a lot. But again, guys, the price, if it is what it says it is, even in a year or two, most gamers will not have a PC that's a 5090 performance. That's actually very, very top end.
Yeah, but there's no
right
way, right? Like it's like, the PS5 Pro type of thing, like, is selling minuscule copies. We can expect more or less the same thing here. Like, it's not like all of a sudden you're going to dominate at that.
Oh, no, they're not. What I'm just saying is,
like,
from a cost perspective, if you were going to say, well, I want a PC that's a 5090 or this Xbox, I would probably take the Xbox. It'll be a lot cheaper. So
yeah, but the thing is it going to be a computer? That's what we don't know. We don't know if it's going to be a hybrid.
Might be, but it might.
Yeah, I think so. I do. I've been saying this for a while, right? That like now's the time for Steam to come out with their like Steam boxes and stuff like that. But I'm just saying that I think the days, guys, of Microsoft being, like a first party, like it's done. It's really done. And that's the big news I wanted to share with you guys. Yesterday, it was weird, man. It was really weird. New Halo announced, which was, well, new. They're remaking the campaign of Halo called Campaign Evolved. And it was just really weird to see that it was like, the Xbox Series was there, PC, and then it ended the trailer with PlayStation 5. And
surprised they didn't do Switch 2.
Oh, I'm sure, dude, considering the Fallout stuff that we're going to
news that, yeah, we're going to talk about. Yep.
Like, I'm pretty sure they simply didn't have the dev kits early enough. It's as simple as that. Like, because Indiana Jones we know is coming, right? Which is from Bethesda, which is technically Microsoft. We now know that we have a Fallout game coming, but the Fallout game is coming after the PlayStation 5 and Xbox versions. The only reason that would be the case is if they didn't they didn't have the dev kits. There would be
no other Nintendo. They don't have any like animosity towards Nintendo, like, oh, we're gonna give them late to screw them. No, just like you said, it's just because they didn't get the dev kits, and I'm pretty sure that. I mean, we don't know the official news, guys. Maybe Microsoft does hate Nintendo for not selling to them years ago, but that's just
you can't.
That's a joke.
Yeah, and especially considering like where Microsoft is going, like they will do anything to get these kind of
money.
Dev kits. Yeah, man.
And let me tell you something. Cyberpunk and some other of those third parties sold really well on Switch too. That could be because there was nothing else at launch and people were starving for games. We don't know, but I think Fallout on Switch 2 is going to do extremely well. A lot of people love the series. People are buying the system. It's the best-selling console ever. So I really think it's going to make them a lot of money. And the Fallout's huge right now, man. Between the show and all it's a big thing. Did you want to transition to that?
Yeah, sure. So,
okay, before we do that, though, good news. Well, it's good news for Sega. Sonic Racing Cross Worlds has sold over 1 million copies worldwide, and they're supporting it. There's some new DLC that just came out, the Joker and stuff like that. Not the DC Joker, the other Persona Joker or whatever it's called. It's good. They have a roadmap. They have more DLC coming. It's really good that was successful. I mean, back in the day, 1 million copies was the mecca of meccas now. It's like, oh, okay, well, no, game made money. It's not like ultimate goal anymore. But yeah, it's good. But again, compared to Mario Kart World and 8, that's just lunch money. But it's great for Sega that they had a great hit,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
hopefully it'll continue, which is good, Jared, because that 69.99 price tag I thought was going to hurt them, but it obviously didn't, and that's good.
Yeah. So, okay. So, guys, what was it? Last Thursday? Yeah. Last Thursday was Fallout Day, October 23rd. Um, it's so funny, you know. This was the second time that this was the second, like the second time they had a Fallout Day. And it was kind of funny because if you know, if you've played any Bethesda games for any amount of time, you know about the Bethesda joke that's not really a joke, which is like these guys release their games about a year and a half before they're ready. Like there's the bugs that are in a Bethesda game are, to be quite frank, unbelievable. Like they released a product knowing they have P0 bugs. So if you don't know what those are, guys, it's basically like things that will like crash your system, save files that will corrupt, like it won't, like they know. It's not like they're, oh shoot, you know, like whatever. No, like they are well aware
They know.
of their issues, and they're just like, it'll be fine. And so the truth is, much like a lot of us Nintendo fans, we do have our blinders on. It's the truth. Like, I am a huge fan of Bethesda. I'm not ashamed to say that,
There's nothing wrong with that.
and
They make great products.
they do, but they take about 2 years to get playable. Like, that's part of the problem, is that, like, you know, their stuff is horrendous at launch, and then it slowly gets better. So, anyways, why do I say all this? Because the live stream was the, like, honestly, guys, it was probably the best example of Bethesda being Bethesda I've ever seen in my life. Instead of doing a direct like everyone else does, they're like, no, we're going to do a live stream. And it was so bad. It was buffering constantly. It was all janky. The audio was out of sync with it at times. I was laughing so hard because I was like, guys, this is such a Bethesda thing to do. Like, it was so bad. And what they announced was the most, like, shake your head and go like, whoop-de-doo. But anyway, we'll go through it just because it's kind of funny. So when was Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition released? Last year, I think it was.
Yeah, that's fine.
So
At least on Steam. Let me find out for you real quick.
I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was everywhere. So first thing they started showing is Fallout 4. And so I'm there going like, I'm like, am I on crack? But I'm like, wasn't this just released, or am I like losing it? I'm like, I'm pretty sure this already came out. And so I'm not on crack. It was already released. And they're releasing it again. It's going to become their new Skyrim. So it's now Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition that comes with like a bunch of stuff. So it comes with the Anniversary Edition game there, the base game, all the 6 DLC add-ons, and then a bunch of crap from the Creation Club. And the cool thing here, the news, if you will, for this was the fact that it was coming to the Switch 2, which was really interesting. So it comes out for PS4, PS5, the Xbox Series, PC on November 10th, and then it's coming out on the Switch 2 in early 2026. Again, the reason why is obvious, is like they just didn't have the kits early enough to get it up and running. So that was the first thing. Then they announced Fallout New Vegas 15th anniversary bundle.
Edition.
Not edition, no. Bundle. And I went, wait a minute. What? Like, what? And so basically, it's got a statue, some cards, a bunch of crap, but it comes with New Vegas Ultimate Edition, which was released like a decade ago. So I am really confused at like the way they had set it up. I was watching and I was like, oh no way, because they had like Obsidian was there and like they were all like, you know, like, oh, it was such an honor 13 years ago or 15 years ago or whatever it was to work on the game and blah 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 blah. And then they show and I'm like, whoa. This is not a remaster. You guys didn't do anything. This is the original PC version, but you're just putting all the content together and you're charging $150 for it. I was like, what? But it's because it comes with like a bunch of swag and, you know, stuff like that. But still, I was like, come on, guys. Like, are you for real? So that sucked. I was like, okay, well, I'm not buying that. Like, I'd buy if they did like an anniversary edition. Cool, yeah. And if you guys don't know, Fallout the show season 2 is taking place in New Vegas. So
yeah, which is awesome, by the way, that they're tying, because you remember how the fans were all in uproar for that. Like, oh my God, they've retconned, this isn't canon. So it's kind of cool that they're doing that. I love that.
Yeah, I was so disappointed that I was like, come on, guys, like just hire a studio to remaster it. Like, come on.
Yeah, that's lazy.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, whatever.
Or just release a new game, right?
Oh, let's not get carried away. That's So then we come to Fallout Shelter. So Fallout Shelter, I cannot believe is already 10 years old. I can't believe.
Did you? I played that for a bit. It was okay.
Yeah, Fallout Shelter I played when it originally came out, and then I went back to it last year when the show was there because they introduced Lucy and like a couple of other characters. Oh, excuse me. The thing is, guys, it's the same thing. So you basically build rooms on your vault, and then you like have waves of enemies that come and attack you. You have a bunch of different vault dwellers. You can breed your vault dwellers, and it was cool. Like it was a fun little game.
Mobile game.
Yeah, mobile game. But it was just that, like a fun little game. It wasn't like anything special. Well, we need to get some money, right? We're not making enough money on those Nuka-Colas and stuff like that. So they're introducing seasons to Fallout Shelter, which of course, when you have a season, it's going to have a battle pass that you pay for. Yay!
Yeah, I'm surprised it took them so long because it is basically a mobile game, by the way. It's on Steam and like every console and stuff like that. But it is virtually identical to all those other mobile games, which is amazing why the mobile game industry is so huge because it dwarfs everything else, by the way, even PC and consoles, by the way. The mobile side just makes a shit ton of money.
Yep.
But yet mobile gaming, I mean, there's some exceptions to the rules, but it's literally Hero Collection games. We'll use that genre. It's literally cut and paste with just different IPs. But the core gameplay loops for all these games are virtually identical. Even a lot of the systems are identical. It's just I don't understand why people love mobile gaming. And funny. I was talking to some parents yesterday at work. And he's a dad. He says, "Oh man, my kids finally started playing consoles with me. But man, they don't do it for long. They just love their mobile games a lot more." And I told you, Jared, we've had that discussion before, and how like Nintendo feared the mobile because they're like, "Oh shit, who's gonna buy our systems?" And it's true. The young generation, they don't play consoles. That's why I try to tell people when they say, "Oh, Nintendo Switch is for kids." Look at the numbers; they're not for kids.
Dude, Steven would not argue with you at all with that. Like his kids have a Switch and they barely ever use it.
Yeah, the young generation have grown up on mobiles. I'm sounding like an old man here saying I can't understand why mobile gaming is so big as it is, but I think it's because they're not gamers, dude. They're just people who want to kill. They're on the bus, they're on a break, There's this little thing that they spend 5, 10 minutes, 20 minutes a day, and that's it. They're not gamers. You and I were gamers. Steven used to be a true gamer.
No, he's still.
He just
Come on,
doesn't
man. He put in like 40 hours in like 3 days.
Oh no, he
like,
does for his Pokemon.
crazy.
He even said in the comments that's all he really plays. So he's a Pokemon fan first now, but he's not a true gamer anymore. Where he plays a wide variety of games. He's just he's a Pokemon. No, just he has children. He has other priorities.
Yeah, but I don't even believe him. No, I don't believe him because he's done. Like he played the last Dragon Quest. He went through Silk Song. I don't think he finished it in the end, but like he spent like hours and hours and hours. So like he's still a gamer.
He still does this. Yeah, he's just a limited time gamer.
Yeah, which is like all of us, man. Like I would put in way more hours than I can.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. So honestly, guys, I don't really care. No matter what they add, this is not going to pull me back into Shelter. Shelter was a fun little diversion, but it was a diversion. That was it. Now, their next two things, I don't even think they are. Okay, so there is news. Okay, so they did. I was just wondering if this website had it or not, but okay, so we already knew about Burning Springs, the latest expansion coming to Fallout 76. We already knew about this. This was already announced like a couple weeks back. Looks great. It's gonna have the ghoul from the show. He's going to be in it, voiced by the actual actor, which is super cool.
Very nice.
It is the largest expansion they have ever released to Fallout 76. I don't believe them, but I'll take their word for it because I'm pretty sure Skyline Valley or whatever that one was called was the biggest expansion. But who cares? You're going to have tons of content that you'll be able to do, story content, new multiplayer events. The new season's going to kick off like with this. So lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of stuff coming up, which I'm really, really excited about. So, but the downside with all of this is that I already knew about this, because if you're a Fallout 76 fan and you're a player of Fallout 76, then you already saw this because this was already announced. The trailer was already shown. So I was a little perplexed why I was like, well, why did you guys do that a couple of weeks ago? Why didn't you hold that off until this? Like, what the hell? Like, it's not like it was like 6 months ago. It was literally like a week and a half ago that they did this. So it makes no sense to me. So here I am on Fallout Day, all excited about essentially nothing. And Pegasus, I don't know if you watch this or not.
By the way, I hope he does. I'll tell him about it, that we talked to him. Usually if I tell him we talk about him, he'll watch it. I just checked on my activity on Steam. It looks like he bought Fallout 76, but I already thought he had it, right?
He had it on Xbox. He didn't have it on Steam. Okay, but Pegasus.
Why would he
Pegasus.
Oh, anyways.
If you are listening, I told him about this about a month ago. I thought it was coming with Burning Springs, but then we saw the trailer and I was like, the hell? Like, it's not. Like, what? It was finally confirmed that Fallout 76 will be getting native versions for Xbox Series, PlayStation 5, and of course PC. So we are finally
exactly.
getting.
Well, I'm gonna give. I've teased him before on Discord. I'll say it again. He's like, he complained, oh, it's 2025. And I go, guys, this game's not new. It's like 10 years old. Of course it's not. Yeah, I don't know. His expectations of visuals are a little unrealistic for an old game. It's not new. So,
well, no, but the good news.
Maybe he thought it was. Yeah, now it's going to get a nice buffer.
Yeah, we're going to finally get an upgrade.
Fallout 76 was a new game, but no, it's old, man. It's old. It's not a 20-year-old game, but it's 10 years old. So
yeah, it's really
10, it's old.
Yeah, it's really old now. So I'm really happy about that. Like, I'm really, really happy about it because, while I understand Pegasus, like I get it. I totally understand you, man. I don't know. There's something about it. There's something about it.
It's fine. That, he's just a graphic snob. I'll say it right now.
Oh God. No, but I actually don't mind Fallout looking like this, it's the animations I wish that were a little bit better because they're a little stiff.
Oh, definitely, yes, definitely. Yeah.
But the overall graphics are nice.
Which is funny that he's so picky with Fallout 76. Maybe because he expects more ultra realistic graphics. Yeah, but he's a big fan of Deep Rock Galactic, which has subpar visuals. The reason why is because of geometry in that game. You literally could dig and destroy anywhere. There's no limit. So those type of graphics have to be like that because otherwise you freaking be a slideshow as you're trying to dig because it would have to render all this ultra realistic textures and stuff. But yeah, he loves Deep Rock Galactic, which graphics look like something out of N64 era. Well, maybe not quite that bad, but it's pretty dated from when it was released. But yeah, he's kind of a graphic snob overall because I always have.
I love how if Pegasus is listening to this, you picked on him like 12 times now.
And I want his comments there because you heard me, Pegasus. You're a graphic snob. So are we done with Fallout or?
Yeah. So just to end it, I just
let's wrap it up.
Was just going to say that there's actually a mini series going on right now. So if you're looking to get into Fallout, what's nice about Fallout is you don't need to be a Fallout First subscriber. Like you can just buy the game, guys. And this game goes on sale a lot.
And not only that, huge sales.
Yeah, and
Nintendo, take note.
You're so funny. The expansions are all free, so you don't pay for any of these. And the season pass, guys, honestly, like I've been experimenting over the last 6 months.
Good value?
Dude, they're free. So the seasons are free, and I've been experimenting over the last half a year. All I do are the dailies and the weeklies. Okay, I don't do anything else.
It.
I'm not grinding. I'm not nothing else. And you have more than enough time to get all the bonus items, this new season hits December 2nd, December 3rd. You have a full month to do everything. And
okay, maybe I could try to mimic you then. Just if that's all you have to do,
dude, I spend 15 minutes a day in Fallout, except for Tuesdays because that's when the weeklies come. That's when the weeklies refresh every week, and I spend a whopping 45 minutes on Tuesday. That's it. That's my schedule.
That's nothing.
And I get every single item. You should see the crap I have, how awesome it is now. Because now I got decorations for Halloween and stuff. It's really cool.
Are they still adding more stuff for fishing? I hope they don't stop that. They probably
no, of course. The big one for they're always off a season. They're a little weird. So the previous season was Gone Fission, which was their fishing one.
You see what they said?
Yeah, this one was all about building. They revamped the entire building system in the game, totally.
Oh yeah. One thing that they do a great job of, guys, is their trailer teasers. It's just they do perfect voice act. I don't think it's AI because it sounds too good. But it's just it's so funny. Your neighbors and this guy's looking over there with the binoculars. It's just they do a great job.
They do. They do.
And I'm glad that they didn't give up on Fallout 76. Remember, it had a real rough launch on some devs. We're gone. They don't want to deal with it. But I can understand from a business perspective it's risky. But I'm glad they didn't. Yeah, they have great teasers. I love it. Are we done, though?
Yeah. We can move on.
Let's wrap it up. But before we go, though, I want your thing. And Steven, please talk about this in comments, assuming he usually listens to the podcast. The Pokemon DLC Mega Dimensions confirmed, leaked. So this is what you get for your $30. And I want to ask you, people are asking, is it worth it? I kind of think it is. You get over 150 returning Pokemon, 19 new Mega Evolutions, and returning Megas. Megas, whatever they're called. New Mega Rogue battles, I'm not sure what that is. 2 brand new moves and over 86 new side quests. Is it worth $30? I don't understand the second to last comment. 2 new moves? What does that mean? 2 new moves. I had no idea. That's what the list is on this report. I'm assuming Pokemon moves.
But for
you mean
what?
Instead of 4 to 6?
No.
No.
No, that
Okay.
would make no sense.
Maybe just 2 new.
Well,
spells.
okay, so you get a Mega Evolution Raichu, right? You can do an X
Yeah.
Mega Evolution and a Y Mega Evolution. Maybe that's what they're talking about. Like there's
Oh,
two
okay.
new moves you can.
But-
I'm assuming. I don't have a clue.
What are mega rogue battles? What are those?
I think that's the. Oh, I know exactly what that is. I was gonna say it was a multiplayer thing. No, it's not a multiplayer thing. So in the game, as you're playing the game, I don't know when it starts. I don't remember exactly when it starts. Like 10 hours in, 15 hours in. I don't remember. But the story basically says that there's these rogue mega evolutioning. That's not really a word. Pokemon that are scattered around the map, and they typically go in threes. So you'll have 3 spots that will go, and then you go there, you fight that mega evolution, and you get their stone, which allows you to mega evolve that same Pokemon for your team. So if they're introducing new rogues, that's what they're talking about. Like there's going to be a couple of new battles. I think the cool thing is the Mega Evolutions. It depends on if those 19 are they all new, because you then said a comment of
new.
returning.
It
though.
says new. Oh, and returning. So
Well,
it says 19 new Mega Evolutions and returning. So they didn't specify. So
yeah, because
to me, when they
that's
say
going to
19
depend.
new, that means you're probably going to get 19 new.
If it's
returning.
19
So
brand new Mega Evolutions,
That's
yeah,
pretty
that's
good.
totally worth it. If it's like a combo, which I'm sure it's going to be a combo. I doubt they're going to do 19 straight up. Yeah, I mean, look, if it's worth it to
86
you,
side missions could go. By the way, what are the side missions are in this game?
they
by the way?
typically they vary. So like some of them are like there'll be like a Pokemon that you'll have to go and find and bring back to people, like a fetch quest type of thing.
Oh,
Others
okay,
are
so nothing
battles.
major then. It's just
No,
to keep
most
you
of them
busy.
are fairly simple. There's a couple of cool ones that are like, like multi-part where you do a couple of things, but for the most part it's like battle under specific conditions. So like the one that I'm doing right now is extremely difficult. One of them is insane, like Steven did yesterday. That is nuts. It's 10 Pokemon battles in a row where you can't heal.
Whoa, okay, I like that challenge then. I
Yeah,
actually
that's a
like
challenge. No, that's a real challenge. And when
Okay, that's
let me
kinda cool.
hold on.
Okay,
let
I
me
like that.
let me wait a second. Not just you can't heal, you cannot use items either.
Whoa, that's really cool. See, I like challenges like that. You see, okay, we're not going to dive too much into it, but we all know that Pokemon itself is pretty easy. I mean, I don't mind that. I kind of wish it was more challenging.
I'm
like
good.
Tum Tum.
Honestly, I'm good. I just
but
wish
I like-
the logic was there instead. Like,
Yeah, no,
just
I
because
agree, I
you're a
agree.
fire, you're a fire gym leader or whatever. Why do you only have 2
Dude,
Pokemon?
I wish you and I know Steven had interest in Tum Tum. He just unfortunately doesn't have a PC. You would like Tum Tum because what I told you several podcasts before, what I loved about them is they had a fire gym, which is a fire theme. But let me explain to you. So you go in there thinking, I'm going to take all these water Tum Tums. You get maybe one of those fighters have it. You literally get your floor that's one thing I loved about Tum Tum. I actually had to get a friend who played it as well helped me get class 1. That's what I wish Pokemon was like, but it's not going to be like that. But if they're going to make like these side missions a challenge, and hey, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
But it would be really cool if there was a little bit more balance in the mainline story. But
like again,
that.
that's where I understand if you are trying to bring in kids, like, this is my first RPG. I get it. Like I get it.
Nintendo's also. Or Game Freak and even Nintendo, they're so old school, man. They still think it's the 80s where everyone was new to gaming. Kids are not stupid. Kids are better at gaming than a lot of adults are, man. I don't know why they still have that mindset. Oh, children? Unless they're 3-year-olds. Okay, I can understand a 3-year-old, but 3-year-olds aren't playing Pokemon.
Well,
so
they're
so disrespectful to the consumer, man.
It's that's where it's a little odd. Sometimes I find, because like if we have the data that shows that kids aren't playing,
Yeah, then where are they
then
getting this out of their
yeah,
ass?
I mean,
It's just
I don't know.
laziness.
No, but like they have to have market research, right? Like they're not
yeah.
stupid. Like they're clearly they're doing this for a reason, sort of thing. So, but yeah, like so there's some missions like that are fairly challenging. I have one right now that's also, you know, very classic Pokemon of like go find this one Pokemon. You have to ditch the whole rest of your party and like beat me with this one Pokemon. But that one Pokemon is like level 15 and his Pokemon's level like 65. So you have to
Well, that's a little.
you have to level the Pokemon to a certain point and stuff.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I was gonna say you had to lead on 15. There's no way you're gonna beat them.
No,
Ridiculous.
exactly. So the idea is like you can't just do that side quest, right? Like in order to activate the side quest, you've got, it's so funny that these things pop up. You've got to level that character up and, you know, and stuff like that. But listen, like I said, overall, I've been having a lot of fun. So I've got till Thursday. I have to finish the game before Thursday because then Dragon Quest comes out and that's pretty much the end of everything.
Well, next year when this DLC comes out, you are gonna return, right?
Yeah, I always come back for the DLCs unless there's something like major. Like that's what happened with the second set in I think it was Scarlet and Violet. Like I was there for the first, but not this second. If I'm thinking of it correctly. But yeah, okay, guys, we're good. That's the end of the podcast. That was good. I didn't expect us to have that much to talk about, and look at that.
Yeah, it was good.
We did
and
it.
Hopefully we'll have more news next week. If not, we'll take a little small break. Or
we're going to be back for sure, man. Are you kidding?
Dragon Quest. Oh yeah, duh. Yeah, we definitely want your impressions, man. We got to hear it.
That's right. So, all right,
I
guys.
wonder if Steven's going to get the game.
He is. Yeah.
Oh, he's good.
He got it pre-ordered. I picked it up for Cranberry, so she's got it. So it's all on you.
Of course,
now.
Cranberry.
It's all on you.
Don't worry, man. I'll get it.
He's never getting it.
I'll wait for sale.
Yeah,
never.
Never.
We'll see.
Okay, everybody.
All right, guys.
Take care. Ciao.
Bye.